Dub Nation, we are 1 day away from the NBA Play-In Tournament starting. You've got your Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings, a little rivalry game coming up tomorrow night. So if you want the Warriors to beat the Kings, which I'm sure most of you do, all you guys have to do is like this video. Dub Nation, welcome into Warriors Today by Chat Sports. You got Allie Barefoot here, and tomorrow the Golden State Warriors versus Kings play-in game does kick off, which should give a lot of the Warriors an opportunity to speak out on this so-called California rivalry that will be happening tomorrow night. Draymond Green and even some Sacramento Kings players want to speak out about what's at stake. Plus, Steve Kerr did just recently give an injury update that could impact the Kings versus Warriors game, which we are going to break down here first on Warriors Today. Of course, that injury update is Gary Payton II. Gary Payton will not play in the game tomorrow night. Kerr says if the Golden State Warriors advance to the second play-in game, he's also going to miss that one as well. Now, I know Golden State Warriors fans have unfortunately gotten pretty used to Gary Payton having these injury hiatuses, but not now, man. Not GP2. He was playing phenomenal at the very end of the season. He had a great block against the Los Angeles Lakers in a must-win game the other night. But throughout the season, he has missed, well, quite a few games with these injuries. It started off with that ankle against the Thunder. He missed 4 games in a row. And then it went on to the hamstring, which was a grade 2 sprain. And that was against the Orlando Magic, which he did miss 14 games after that. And now he's missed 3 games so far with a calf injury, and he is expected to miss the play-in tournament. This is tough, man. GP2 has done so much on the defensive side of the ball for the Golden State Warriors, but also he's a fan favorite, which is the worst. I know Golden State Warriors fans are really bummed not being able to see GP2, but the good news is if the Warriors play their heart out and play their hardest in this play-in tournament and make it to the first round versus the OKC Thunder, which is number 1 seed, Gary Payton II is going to be reevaluated to see if he can play in the first round for the Golden State Warriors. So there is some good news. But the bad news is, well, I guess the unfortunate news is that no number 10 seed has ever made it out of the NBA play-in tournament. And I asked Smitty this. I was like, really? No number 10 seed? Well, the NBA play-in tournament hasn't been around that long, but still, the Miami Heat made an historic run last year as the 8th seed. They went all the way to the NBA Finals, which I know Klay Thompson has talked about. That's what's really giving us a lot of motivation here. But the Warriors are in basically last place in the NBA Western Conference now in the postseason because 11 through 15 have been knocked out. So the Warriors are going to have a lot at stake, and that's what we're going to talk about here on today's show. What is at stake for the Warriors versus Kings is the Warriors could have an unsuccessful season if they do not make it past the first round of the NBA play-in tournament. Now, we know the Golden State Warriors have created a dynasty of winning over the last decade, but if you want to break down what this actually looks like for the Golden State Warriors play-in tournament, because sometimes I also get confused, it is a lot of numbers moving around, but unfortunately, the Warriors could be one and done. That is what is at stake when you're in the 10th seed. So, if the Warriors do lose to the Kings tomorrow night, that's the season. If they do win, they do move on to play the loser of the 7th and 8th seed game, which is the Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans. They, of course, have to beat either of those teams to then move on into this 8th seed right here to play the OKC Thunder in a 7-game series. Now, the Warriors did not make the playoffs in 2021. As you guys know, they lost by 3 to the Lakers. That was a tough game to watch, and then they lost in overtime to the Grizzlies, falling 2 games in the NBA play-in tournament. They did come in 6th. They were the 6th seed last season, so they obviously did miss the NBA play-in tournament just by a smidge last season. So Steve Kerr is facing it once again. But the good news is that Kerr is feeling really secure in the Warriors right now. He said, I got a good feeling about what's ahead. I think we have a chance to do something special. If we know anything about the Golden State Warriors, that's all they've done in the last 10 years is something special. What Curry does every single night, what Klay Thompson has been able to do, that trio, that dynasty, what they've created in the Bay Area. So there is a very good chance the Warriors have an opportunity to beat the Kings, and they've already beaten the Lakers once this season, so it could be a very good matchup and a good path to get back to the NBA playoffs. So if you think Curry is going to drop 50 points against the Kings, he's done it before, I want you guys to go ahead and like this video. Let Chef Curry do what he does best. We all know he elevates when it comes to a certain type of standard, and I know he does not want the season to be over. So show us some love, show him some love, and like this video. And I'm going to go ahead and return the favor here to you guys by telling you about the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America, Prize Picks. If you are looking for a fun way to test your skills and win some money on the side, well, this is the app for you. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. When you get there, how you play is you just pick more or less. That is it on a player's projected stats for that game, and you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. They've got something for every sports fan. From basketball to MLB to NHL to Call of Duty, everything in between. You can pick LeBron, Steph Curry, Connor McDavid, and Jude Bellingham, all in the same entry. I went with MLB picks here today because, of course, there is no NBA games until tomorrow. I got Cole Irvin to have a goblin pick, more than 3.5 pitcher strikeouts. Easier pick, doesn't pay as much. But I do have Judge, a little East Coast guy, to have at least 1 home run. Of course, that is going to be a demon. Harder pick, but it pays a lot more. I love mix and matching, and you guys can go on ahead and do so as well. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100 and watch yourself win some real money in real time. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy. What else is at stake in tomorrow's game? Well, the Warriors and the Kings rivalry. This is a very interesting rivalry, both being in the state of California. In the regular season, obviously they face continuously in the Western Conference, but in the postseason, it's been a little bit different. So the man of the hour, Draymond Green, who always has something to say about the Warriors' opponents, spoke out after their game yesterday, and it was pretty actually at ease here. He said, it's always a playoff type of game. You feel that. You go into their arena, their fans want to light that beam, and they see us lose and beat the crap out of us. And when they come here, we want to beat the crap out of them. A lot of familiarity amongst the two organizations. It kind of has brewed into that, which is why tomorrow's game is going to be such a must-see and a must-win for the Warriors. Kendra Andrews also spoke on what Brandon Podziemski had to say about what the Warriors do when they play a team like the Sacramento Kings. He said, Game 7 of the Warriors/Kings series solidified Steph Curry as one of the best players ever. You got to remember, Podziemski was a rookie. He's a rookie. He was not playing in the league last year. So Kerr today on Curry said he's him, as Austin Reeves would say. So obviously Curry elevates to a next level when a rivalry does come out. And of course, last season was the first season that these two teams did go head-to-head in the postseason. And we all know what happened. A 7-game series, and they did win 4-3. But it took every last bit of effort to beat the Kings. I remember Draymond Green just saying, man, I'm exhausted after they won after Game 7. So it's very tough to go that far with a team, but you only have one opportunity to beat them. And the Kings are looking for revenge, man. They got their playoff hopes crushed last year. I know. I think last year was the first year they made the playoffs in so many years, that the entire city was behind them. They wanted to light the beam forever and always, and the Warriors said, sorry, not this year. So now Davion Mitchell knows what's at stake for tomorrow for the Kings side of this matchup, saying it's exciting. We get to get a little payback from last year. We know they're going to come in here with energy because we're playing a home game. It's going to be loud. It's going to be physical, but I think we're ready for it. Well, good thing we know the Golden State Warriors do better on the road. As Podziemski said, it's us versus them. So I'm very excited to see what the Warriors are going to pull out of their bag on this one. No GP2, but hopefully Jonathan Kuminga can come back out. He had a scoreless game yesterday. We can't have that happen again. You got to lock down De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, and I think the Warriors have the resources to do that. However, you cannot rule out anything in a rivalry. So how worried are you about the Sacramento Kings tomorrow? All you guys got to do is scale it between 1 and 10. 1 being, we got it. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm going to go to sleep, get 10 hours. I'm rested. To 10, I'm biting my nails off. I'm so scared of the Sacramento Kings. I don't know how we're going to beat them. They're insane. There's your range. The third thing that is at stake is, unfortunately, some futures for some Warriors players. Of course, as you guys know, CP3 does have a non-guaranteed $30.8 million next season. And Klay Thompson, he's entering free agency. With Chris Paul, I do think what he does in the postseason can really help push or backtrack what Chris Paul is going to do in the offseason. He has played 19 seasons in the NBA, and he does not have a championship under his belt. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, they can't say the same. So Chris Paul is now coming into a team that's got a lot of winning experience, and I do think Chris Paul has the opportunity to really make himself of value on the Warriors' offense and defensive side of the ball in the postseason. Because a lot of people have been wondering, was Chris Paul a failed experiment? You needed to get rid of Jordan Poole to really fix the team chemistry. You did that. You shipped him out to the East Coast. And then you got Chris Paul in return. But not a lot has happened in terms of Chris Paul really being that guy for the Warriors. Yes, there have been some games. Yes, there has been some instances where I'm like, damn, Chris Paul still has it. But they do need him to excel at taking care of the ball and to orchestrate this offense. That is how he can make himself known in the postseason. If he does not help the Warriors win in the postseason, waive him. It's unfortunate. It really is. I put out a video a couple days ago talking about what's at stake for Chris Paul. If you guys want more information on that, go check it out. But I just think that $30 million is going to be way too much to pay a player that didn't even help you get out of the play-in this year. I think it's unfortunate, but I think $30 million can go get somebody that can help you at least make it back to the NBA Finals. And then you got Klay Thompson, who's entering free agency. That's going to cut out $42 million of your contract. But Klay's situation is a little bit different than Chris Paul's. I think Klay has fully stepped up his game from the beginning of the season to the end. Since the All-Star break, Klay Thompson has proved I still got gas left in the tank. I'm still here. This is still my team. I have expressed I want to play for this organization and retire as a Warrior. So I do think that the Warriors will offer him a contract at the end of the season. But maybe if he performs really well against the Kings and against other teams in the postseason, maybe that could up his salary and up his years for as long as he would like if he shows he's still an asset. So with that being said, I want you guys to pick one to keep. Go on ahead and type KT for Klay Thompson and type CP3 for Chris Paul. Let me know what you guys think down below. And while you guys are at it, like I said, if you haven't already, go on ahead and hit this like button for me because we are going to be live for that game tomorrow night. Like this video if you're joining live on Warriors today. We got the Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors. We're going to be going live for this ball game. We're going to have a lot of play-by-play, highlight stats, a lot of drinks. We're going to have a good time. All you guys have to do is like this video.